There are two main parameters for the pharmaceutical formulations. The first is composition and second is the manufacturing process. So both these things go together to make the pharmaceutical formulation successful in terms of safety, efficacy and quality. Welcome to the video regarding the subject of manufacturing process selection for oral solid formulations. These may be the tablets, capsules or granules, or these may be the pellets. Manufacturing process is selected considering the formulation design, the properties of drug substance, required excipients, daily dosing, and the BCS classifications also. The drug substance sensitivity is also considered whenever you are selecting the manufacturing process. Let's start with the video and be with me till the end of this video to understand the parameters or the key considerations for selecting the manufacturing process. Whenever you want to develop a formulation like tablet or capsule, always know that the manufacturing process should be right as it will impact the safety, efficacy and quality. The formulation products are required to be stable with bioavailability, bioequivalence and the manufacturing process should be robust. So manufacturing process influences product quality, scalability and the regulatory compliance. This video is for the overview of manufacturing process selection. If you are working on to a generic formulation, then the reference product is the important point or important thing to understand. Reference formulation gives you idea regarding the quality target product profile, that is QTPP. Understand the reference formulation, do some reverse engineering and then make the QTPP. The formulation may be with design of IR, ER, DR, pellets, MOX formulation, or it may be the capsule formulation, tablet formulation, it may be the formulation for prescription or OTC, whatever it is. But the reference formulation will give you the clear idea. Then whether the bioavailability enhancement or solubility improvement is required or not, that is the important. If formulation contains BCS class 2 or 4 drug substance, then you may need some solubility enhancement. Then understand the regulatory and patent considerations, whether you are working on to a formulation which is non-infringing or it is a hybrid type of formulation, whether it is a innovator formulation, new formulation, whether you are going to file the new drug application or ANDA or you are making the generic formulation. Consider the daily dose of API, consider the API content of the formulation, then impact of drug substance stability, consider the drug substance sensitivity, compatibility with the excipients for designing the manufacturing process. Then understand about the scalability and process control parameters. So reference product and QTPP, RLD weight you will know, whether the patents are there, what is the composition disclosure of RLD or reference product, do RLD characterization and then make the generic formulation strategy. Understand about the solubility and bioavailability requirement and enhancement for the BCS class 2 and 4 APIs. You may need the technologies to improve solubility like use of nano size material, micron size material API. You can go for spray drying, you can go for hot melt extrusion, you can go for dissolving the drug substance into some vehicle and then using it into the product. So solid dispersion can be made, some solubilizers can be used for solubility and bioavailability enhancement. Regulatory and patent considerations, excipient and process parameters. These are the considerations for process design. Understand whether the patents are there regarding any manufacturing process, whether you want to go with that process or you want to make the non-infringing process. Excipients and process parameters. These are the things which are required to be selected to ensure non-infringement of existing patents while maintaining the formulation strategy. 505(b)(2) pathway products. These can provide process-based differentiation in regulated markets like US. If you are working onto a hybrid type of formulation, then the process should be selected considering the nature of the formulation. API load and content, category of the API, toxicity, whether the drug is belonging to narrow therapeutic index, whether it belongs to anti-cancer or cytotoxic API, whether it is a hormone product or it is an enzyme, that category should be understood. Then the content or API load in the formulation, that is dose of the formulation, dose of the API. For example, if 1000 mg is the dose of the API, then you will know that the API characteristics will play the great role in the formulation process design. If the API percent in the formulation is low, then based on that you can go to select the formulation process. Whether the API load in the formulation or API content is low, medium or high. So medium means you can consider 50%, low you can consider below 25% or 10%, and high you can consider above 70% of the tablet weight. Then whether the product is capsule, what is the maximum size of capsule or tablet, that should be understood. You can go for direct compression method, you can go for roller compaction, you can go for weight granulation. Direct compression if the API is having good flow and compressibility, roller compaction or dry granulation, or high shear granulation, weight granulation if the flowability is poor. Basic understanding about the API nature, API sensitivity is important. If the API is sensitive to moisture, if the API is sensitive to heat, then you should select the direct compression process or roller compaction process. Then considering the low dose APIs, when the API percent in the formulation is very low, then the uniform distribution, blend uniformity, content uniformity is very important for this type of formulations. High shear weight granulation or fluid bed granulation using top spray technique can be used for better blend homogeneity. Also, sometimes you can dissolve the low dose API and then you can use it into the formulation. Impact of drug substance stability. Degradation under stress conditions can influence the choice of process, selection of excipients, and dosage form development. If API is sensitive to moisture, you should select the process which is dry in nature, that means DC process or RC process, or you can go with non-aqueous solvents. You can use IPA, acetone, methanol, ethanol. So these non-aqueous or organic solvents can be used. You can use the low moisture grade excipients and you can make the process and product stable. Then consider the scalability and process control considerations, that is control strategy. Scalability is important whenever you are designing the process. Process selection should ensure ease of scale up, efficient manufacturing, use optimized yield and reduce batch variability. So manufacturing should be efficient. There should not be much loss of the API, loss of the product in process stages, so that you can get the reproducible yield. Enhance the process controls. So beyond standard filing parameters to ensure consistency and regulatory compliance. So process control should be there so that you can make the formulation robust and you can ensure the batch to batch consistency. These are some of the parameters for selection of the manufacturing process. I hope you might have got some understanding about the process selection. In upcoming time, I will make more videos on each and every aspect of the process selection. Thank you for watching the video.